Welcome to Bears in Exile. Today is Monday, July the 2nd, and this is the market overview. Looking at the Dow, SPX, VIX, TNA, UUP, FXE, GLD, SLV, and all the rest. Oops, I'm on the wrong chart. Okay. Well, we had a decent day on the market. Still very low volume, holiday week. And no terrible news out there. Pretty mixed. With the Dow closing down just over 8 points, very minor. And today it was able to get to its recent high, kiss it, and back away slightly, ending with a hanging man candle. Potential reversal signal. And, perhaps even a, short-term double top. So at first glance, those two things, not the greatest. We have a little bit of a topping area in the heat map. It is relatively minor. But we have the 14-day RSI moving average moving on up, along with the CCI, the stochastics, the histogram, and the MACD. Only the regular RSI pointing down. So overall, definitely more bullish than bearish, and by a good degree. And last night, the iffy chart was the 60 minutes. And let's see if it's any different tonight. No, tonight it's worse. 60-minute chart does not look good. It is worse than yesterday. We have the CCI ticking up. We have the stochastics mixed. 14-day RSI moving average still moving up. Down on the RSI, down on the MACD, down on the MACD histogram. So yeah, problems in the 60-minute. We can see the previous high being tested right at the open today, and it was able to float back up, regaining most of what it was down. At one point, it was good. Well, more than 50 points, but anyways, not a bad showing whatsoever. And until that 14-day RSI moving average really turns over, I still think that this sucker could go up a little bit more. And if we break out of that potential double top, you could have more people jumping in. So yeah, even though it looks poor indicator-wise, doesn't mean that it's going to go down tomorrow. But anyways, now SPX last night we said was better than the Dow, and today proved it, making a new recent high today. Unlike the Dow, up 3 1/3 points, very nice. Making a new high is bullish. We are ending with a hanging man, just like the Dow. We still have a little bit of green in the heat map, just like the Dow, and we have the RSI ticking down, but everything else moving on up. This is not a bad chart in the daily time frame, not at all. And is it any different than the Dow in the 60-minute time frame? I'll take a peek. Yeah, actually we have similarities, but we have both the stochastics ticking up. We have the MACD ticking up. So slight differences in the 60-minute time frame. It's not perfect for the bulls, but it is not as questionable as the Dow. And we have the new recent high. Very nice. Moving right along to the VIX. This one is really cool, and I actually noted this in the daily running thread that there's the VIX and there's the VXX, and at one point the VIX was green and the VXX was very, very red. It didn't line up. By the end of the day, the VIX did catch up, not to the extent of VXX, but it was still a warning sign, and turned out to be very valid. And it happened before most of the move up today. So that was a really good sign. Beyond that, we made a new recent low on the VIX today, bearish. And everything is moving on down except for the RSI slight tick up. We do have a warning area in the heat map, but all in all, yeah, this is definitely bearish. Absolutely. It doesn't look bad in the 60-minute. I guess I might as well show it. It's not as overheated as it was at the beginning of yesterday, working itself off slightly in the heat map. And we have everything moving down with the exception of the histogram and the RSI going sideways. But overall, pretty darn unattractive. And it looks like we are working on getting a positive divergence. But when that'll play out, not yet. TNA, yes. Now this is really pretty. CompQ should lead. TNA should lead. TNA definitely was leading today, making a new recent high, and taking us right up. This is so interesting. Taking us right up to the top of this real candle over here, where we have a gap. So getting to gap fill, resistance, and stopping. Very interesting. Won't take much to fill that in. 56.77 would be a complete gap fill, and so could it turn away here? Yeah. I think it'd be more likely to go up here for a retest of this high, but you know, there's plenty of time to do all of that. I guess the gap fill should be the objective at the moment. Getting some green in the heat map, possible topping area. Down on the CCI, up on the stochastics, up on the 14-day RSI moving average, sideways on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Overall, a really nice looking chart. And yeah, just got that little bit of resistance to take out. Alright, now for interesting stuff. UUP. We were talking on Friday about this incredible gap down, and now it's gapped up. Now we have a double gap, giant gap above, small gap below. Which one is going to fill? We're going in for the middle Bollinger Band cross. Short-term moving averages on their way. We do have a little bit of a tick in the heat map, possible bottoming area, but we have the stochastics down, 14-day RSI moving average down, histogram down, MACD down, only the RSI and the CCI up. Kind of a mixed picture, but look at that. It tried to go back up, smack back down. Overall, pretty darn weak looking chart in the daily time frame, and way below the major price consensus level, way below the lower price consensus level for the new month. So yeah, definite sign of weakness in the daily time frame with the dollar. FXE, the euro. And on Friday we were saying about this one just appearing in the middle of the long-term moving average bar, not nearly as strong as just going all the way through it and avoiding the fight. And today kicking it out slightly, getting outside of all of the long-term moving average bar, still above the major price consensus level, still below the upper price consensus level, at least for this new month. I mean, this is the first day of these values forming. 14-day RSI moving average moving up, stochastics up, CCI down, RSI down, histogram up, MACD up, and we have no warning area in the heat map. So very cool. Certainly could try to get in a fight with the long-term moving average bar again. Not an ugly chart in the daily time frame. Not perfect, but definitely not ugly. Very much more bullish than bearish, which is which is good for the bulls, market bulls. CompQ, the Nasdaq. This one should be leading just like TNA if a rally is for real, And wouldn't you know it, it is leading as well, making a new recent high today, ending with a fat hanging man. And with the exception of the RSI, everything moving on up. Very, very nice. No, longer term, we could be setting up a negative divergence in the daily time frame on a few indicators. I mean, CCI, MACD histogram, maybe not so much on the stochastics or the RSI, but something to be on the lookout for. But absolutely bullish, making a new high. And something to go along with it, Apple. Very nice. Look at that. New recent high on Apple. Breaking out its top. We have the 14-day RSI moving average, very slight tick up, stochastics up, CCI up, RSI sideways, histogram up, MACD up, looking for a completion of a bullish cross. This is a really good sign for the market, and a really nice looking daily chart. 60-minute, not so much, but the daily will win out. So, matter of fact, I'll look at the 60-minute. See if there's any difference from everything else out there. That's kind of interesting. It's just a wild hair here. Probably nothing. Well, that's kind of interesting, actually. And it's not perfect either. Oh, it was better a moment ago. Anyways, just a little fun thing to do. 60-minute time frame. Is it overcooked? We definitely have a topping area in the heat map, but it's not reflected on both heat maps. So, really, not yet. 14-day RSI moving average completing, getting close to the completion of a move all the way to the top. Could get stuck there for a while. Stochastics holding out high. RSI holding out high. Slanting down on the histogram. MACD still pointing up. Yeah, this one could have some more up. Absolutely. But it's just a little bit wishy-washy, or toppy, I should say, in the 60-minute time frame, but no obvious red flags of things already turning over. Not bad. Really not bad. GE. Now this one, pretty interesting. Last night we were saying that, last market day, I should say, that GE leads the Dow, and unlike the Dow, GE was just going crazy, which actually turned out to be a good indicator of today, in that most things were positive, and significantly so in TNA and CompQ's case. Needed to go down or to the side to get back inside the upper Bollinger Band. That's what it did. Did it a little bit more than I would have expected it to, but nonetheless, at least it did what it should do. We have no downtick in the daily time frame. We do have some excessive separation. That'll be fixed at some point, but we have no downtick yet. You can see the stochastics holding high, maybe attempting to curl a little. CCI trying to curl. RSI trying to curl. 14-day RSI moving average still has room to move to the upside. Slightly down on the histogram, up on the MACD. This is a push-pull in the daily time frame. Not bad, just not great. However, conversely, in the 60-minute time frame, I mean, it was fixing itself in the daily, and the 60-minute time frame, very different than most of the other charts. We've worked off the majority of the topping area in the heat map. We do have the 14-day RSI moving average leveling out by the end of the day. We have the CCI leveling out by the end of the day. RSI still ticking down, but disagreement in the stochastics. The fast saying that it wants to loop. The histogram looks like it's attempting to loop, and we're losing steam in the MACD itself on the downside. So this actually looks kind of better for the 60-minute time frame than most of the other charts. So really could be good for the market. GLD. Yeah. Going in for a fight with the long-term moving average bar, ending with a spinning top. We have nothing in the heat map. Starting to get underway to the downside in the 14-day RSI moving average. Down on the CCI, up on the stochastics, down on the RSI, up on the MACD, up on the MACD histogram. Overall, not bad, because it looks like we want to have a reset of the secondary indicators to get up and meet the 14-day RSI moving average before it starts its decline. And so could be some more upside for gold until they are reset in the daily time frame. Then we should have more decline. At least they'll be aligned for that. So and SLV also ending with a spinning top. Nowhere near the long-term moving average bar like gold is. This one's been worse. 14-day RSI moving average moving down, stochastics up, CCI up, RSI down, histogram up, MACD up. It actually has more indicators on its side than gold does, which is kind of nice. What else is there to say? It's not. It doesn't look bad in the daily, but after the daily resets, it could get really nasty. JP Morgan. Got to have banks on the right side for the rally, and this one got close and kissed the 200-day moving average today, closed below it, struggling in the long-term moving average bar, but at least it's not falling out of place. Up on the 14-day RSI moving average, disagreement in the stochastics, up on the CCI, down on the RSI, down on the histogram, and up on the MACD. A very mixed picture as it fights with the long-term moving averages. If we get a clear break above the 200-day moving average and clear the bar, yep, it'll turn really positive really fast, but until it does that, not a really good signal of something that can be acted upon. And, oh, of course, silly me. XOI, oil. The Iranian sanctions have come into effect. You would have thought that that would have had a better effect on oil today, but yeah, at least it essentially closed flat instead of closing down. Has cleared the long-term moving average bar again. It's going to take really nasty damage over the next few days. Do have a little bit of a topping area here, down on the CCI, up on the stochastics, up on the 14-day RSI moving average, down on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Definitely more bullish than bearish, especially with its positioning, so long as it can hold at this point. And just let everything catch up to it. Then it'll be just dandy. But just holding against the gravitational forces of the long-term moving average bar, attempting to suck it in, is a really good sign of strength. And is there anything else? Oh, VIX. Just as illustration, we're talking about it on the VIX, might as well show it. And a nasty, nasty day, down 6.5%, whereas the VIX was only down 1.5%. Huge difference, making a new recent low once again. Nasty, ugly, and everything moving down in the daily time frame. Good for market bulls. What can you say? This one's just a darn ugly little chart. And XLF, see if there's any difference between this and JP Morgan. Get a better read on the industry as a whole, banking. And yeah, making a new recent high today, bullish. Big hanging man, yeah, possible reversal signal. Little bit of warning in the heat map, not massive. Slightly down on the CCI, up on the stochastics, up on the 14-day RSI moving average, down on the RSI, up on the histogram, up on the MACD. Definitely more bullish than bearish by a good degree. So, melt-up rally seems to be intact. What can you say? As always, all investing decisions are your own. This chart and video for entertainment, educational, and consumption of time purposes only. Thank you.